Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to our online learning initiative Ekalaiva. We are going to discuss about motional electromotive force. Now let us consider a straight conductor moving in a uniform time independent magnetic field. So this is a uniform magnetic field. Now let us consider a rectangular conductor P, Q, R, S, in which PQ of the conductor is free to move. Actually, the rod PQ is moved towards the left with a constant velocity V. So, the rod PQ is moved towards left with a constant velocity V. And now one more thing we have to assume here, children. There is no loss of energy due to friction. P, Q, R, S forms a closed circuit enclosing an area that changes when PQ moves. And this rectangular conductor is placed in a uniform magnetic field B vector. So we know that uniform magnetic field is B vector. And this uniform magnetic field, which is perpendicular to the plane of this system. Now, let us consider the length RQ is equal to X and RS is equal to L. The magnetic flux phi enclosed by the loop PQRS will be given as, we know that, B, L, X. Actually here, X is changing with time. Therefore, the time rate of change of magnetic flux phi will induce an EMF. And this induced EMF is given by, we know that induced EMF is equal to time rate of change of magnetic flux. So d minus d phi by dt, which is equal to here d by dt of B, L, X. So induced EMF is equal to minus B, L, dx by dt. And we know that dx by dt is equal to V. And here, this dx by dt will be taken as minus V, which is the speed of the conductor PQ. Okay, so what will we get here? B, L, V, and this dx by dt is equal to minus V. The induced EMF BLV is due to the motion of the conductor. Hence, it is termed as motional EMF. Okay, what is this? This induced EMF BLV, which is due to the motion of the conductor. Okay, so this is termed as motional EMF. And this motional EMF will disappear as soon as the motion of the conductor stops. Actually, the direction of the motional EMF is given by Lenz's law. But it is also more convenient to apply Fleming's right-hand rule also. Okay, so let me write the motional EMF expression as B, L, V. So this is very, very important, children. Now, let's see Fleming's right-hand rule. According to Fleming's right-hand rule, First, we are going to stretch the thumb and first two fingers of our right hand. And all the three fingers are mutually perpendicular to each other. And here, the forefinger, that is the first finger, which points in the direction of the magnetic field, the thumb in the direction of motion of the conductor. So this is the forefinger, which gives the direction of the magnetic field, and thumb gives the motion of the conductor, and the central finger or the middle finger, which points in the direction of the induced EMF or induced current. And this Fleming's right hand rule is also known as generator rule. Okay, so another name of this Fleming's right hand rule is, so we can write either Fleming's right hand rule or generator rule. Actually, Fleming's right hand rule is used to determine the direction of the induced current or induced EMF. And already we have learned about Fleming's left hand rule also. And this Fleming's left hand rule, which is used to determine the direction of force on a current carrying conductor. So now we discussed about motional EMF. Actually, this motional EMF can also be explained in terms of Lorentz force. So in order to explain the motional EMF, in terms of Lorentz force acting on the free charge carriers of conductor PQ, we are going to consider any arbitrary charge Q in the conductor. So let me consider the charge Q in the conductor PQ. When the rod moves with speed V, the charge will also be moving with speed V in the magnetic field. Okay. So the Lorentz force on this charge, what will be the Lorentz force on this charge? The Lorentz force on the moving charge Q is equal to Q V B. So this is the magnitude of the force. So the Lorentz force on this moving charge is Q V B. And what about its direction? Its direction is towards Q. All charges experience the same force in magnitude and direction irrespective of their position in the rod PQ. Okay. So now we know the force which is acting on the charge Q. Now we need to find what is the work done in moving the charge from P to Q. So what is the formula to calculate work done? So the work done formula is, we know that. So let me write here, children. Work done is equal to force into distance, right? So here the force is Q, V, B and the distance is L. Okay. So once if we know the work done, we can also calculate the induced EMF. So we know that EMF is equal to work done per unit charge. So EMF is equal to W by Q, right? So here work done is Q, V, B into L. And what about divided by charge. So you can write that this Q and Q will get cancelled. Again, B, L, V, which is nothing but our induced EMF across the rod. So we discussed about motional EMF even in terms of Lorentz magnetic force. Now let us discuss stationary conductor in a changing magnetic field. Hope all of you understood what is the expression for motional EMF. The expression for motional EMF is BLV. Now let's see how an EMF is induced when a conductor is stationary and the magnetic field is changing. Actually, we know that charges in motion, that is current, can exert force or torque on a stationary magnet. Conversely, a bar magnet in motion can exert a force on the stationary charge. This is the fundamental significance of the Faraday discovery, right? So now, in the case of a stationary conductor, what is the force on its charges? The force on its charges is given by F is equal to Q E vector plus V vector cross B vector, right? And here the conductor is stationary. So we can write the velocity is equal to 0. Then the force becomes F is equal to Q E vector alone. Thus, any force on the charge must arise from the electric field E alone. Therefore, to explain the existence of induced EMF or induced current, we must assume that a time-varying magnetic field generates an electric field. And one thing we have to notice here, children, the electric fields produced by static electric charges have properties different from those produced by time-varying magnetic field. Hope all of you understood the topic what we discussed today, that is motional EMF and stationary conductor in a changing magnetic field. In the next class, we are going to discuss about energy consideration in motional EMF. Thank you, students.